Before Andy leaves stage here, just thank Andy. Hey, come up here with me real quick. This is Andy Kirk. He last summer became a good friend of ours here in Dulles, and he's going to be coming in from time to time. I think you're coming back 4 weeks from this weekend to hang out with us again, and he's investing a lot of time in some technical things and music things. Andy lives in Nashville and is a songwriter, and that's really his forte. I mean, he's got a great voice and he knows music really well, but more than anything, his passion is to write songs, and he's very gifted at it. And we've developed a good friendship and partnership, so you'll be seeing Andy from time to time in the future, and I'm really glad you're leading tonight. Our worship gathering tonight, if you're interested in more of this, will be at our church office in our big meeting space and the back meeting room, and Andy will be leading that. Yeah, thanks, Andy. Well, Jack just handed me this little note here, which it's a cartoon. He said, he whispered in my ear, "Chasing happiness." And the wife is asking, "What happened?" And the distraught-looking man, holding a newspaper that says, "Hell freezes over," says to his wife, "The Detroit Lions won a game." So Jack, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jack. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, that was, talk about chasing sadness. Man. Hey, we're in our second week of Chasing Happiness, and I'm glad you're with us. It's pretty remarkable the things that can spur in us this visible life of happiness, or this outplay of happiness in our lives, isn't it? You know, I set this up last week, and I didn't actually finish the story, but I talked about how Amy and I, early in our marriage, we gave each other presents that were more about what we wanted the other one to have than about what they really wanted or needed, you know. And so we had kind of those disappointing moments at Christmas or birthday where we could tell the other one didn't really like it, or, you know. Well, last year, when somebody, Bruce, would you run up here and hand me this? Last year for Christmas, Amy gave me a surprise, and when I saw the surprise, I was worried, like, oh no, what is this that's wrapped up, you know, is this like some kind of organizing board or something? Well, anyway, I opened this up, and this is what was in it. I don't know if there's a glare, but Charlie Duke, this astronaut here, spoke in our church on a Sunday back a number of years ago. He's one of the 12 men to walk on the moon. And at the time, he spent the most amount of time on the moon with Apollo 16. And he came and talked about how he was so far from God during this. And that, you know, somebody, Tom, would you grab this? Thanks. And she mailed this, wait a minute, real quick, Tom, before you leave. This is Tom Stewart, everybody. Before she gave it to me, she mailed it off to Charlie Duke and had him sign this little note on it. And when I opened this, I couldn't stop smiling, because this man meant a lot to me. His story of faith is really remarkable. Okay, Tom, that's for you. Yeah, okay. And I couldn't stop smiling. And she kept saying, "I finally made you happy at Christmas." And that's not true. There have been many times. Christmas isn't about the gifts that make us happy. Not really. But isn't it sad, kind of, how we define our lives and what makes us smile, that something material can really have that point of definition for us? A couple months ago, my girls ran into my home office and said, "Dad, the TV's black." And I said, "Did you turn it on?" They said, "Yeah, we were watching it and it went black." And this was the nicer of our televisions. And so I messed with it for like a half an hour, and something was terribly, terribly wrong. And I called the manufacturer, and they did diagnostics, blah, 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 blah. It turns out it's a compressor, whatever, something is blown. And so when I asked the price, I just went into like this moment of shock that how expensive it was going to be to repair. And so when Amy tells the story back to me, she said, "You went into like this little mini depression over our television." Well, here's what happened. An hour, maybe a couple hours later maybe, this lady calls me from the manufacturer. She said, Mr. Russell, your television has 34 days of warranty left. And everything's covered. Parts, labor. Amy said that I went from like the shadow of death to just joy in like 5 seconds. And then, like that evening, a couple hours later, see, she had said that the local repair shop didn't have any openings the very next day. I was thinking it would take weeks to fix this. But the second day they had an opening, they would come, be repaired, no cost. Well, she calls that evening and says the repair shop had a cancellation at 9 the next morning, and they'd be at my house first thing in the morning to repair. My television was brighter than ever, and it made me happy. One of my good buddies moved away this week. And I've known for about a month or so that this was going to happen, and it really affected the first part of my week. I think even the staff, in our staff meeting Monday, we actually talked about it. It's just kind of taken the wind out of me a little bit. Somebody that for quite a number of years now has become a good friend, and we've been able to process faith together, and I've seen faith come to life in him. It's amazing the circumstances and the events around us that can so easily define